All right, number 13. X squared minus 2x equals negative 26. It's a quadratic. What do we need to do first? Set it equal to 0, right? So we need to add the 26 over. So we end up with x squared minus 2x plus 26 equals 0. Try to factor it. Is it factorable? Two numbers multiplied by 26 but add up to negative 2. It's not, so grab your calculator. We're going to go ahead and graph the left-hand side in y1. And we're going to graph the right-hand side in y2. Everybody got that? Hit graph. My window is set from a different problem. Zoom 6. Square minus 2x plus 26. All right, so what's wrong? Yes?
Your range is too small.
My window is probably too small, right? It appears to be. I don't see a graph anywhere. So let's change our window. You can either zoom out, hit zoom, and then zoom out number 3, see what happens. Oh, there it is up there. So what does that tell us? Is my graph going to touch the x-axis? No, it's not. Isn't that where we normally find the answers, where it touches the x-axis?
Yeah.
So, what's going on? Yes?
The answer is imaginary.
We have imaginary solutions. If it touches the x-axis, that gives you the real solutions. Does that make sense? So this one's going to give you imaginary solutions. So what do we got to do now, since we can't solve it by graphing? What always works for, yes?
Quadratic formula.
Quadratic formula, right? You won't get any formulas on the test. You have to know these formulas. All right, so let's plug this in. What is that? 104? Square root of negative 100? Square root of 100? 10. Square root of negative 100? 10i, right? So 2 plus or minus 10i all over 2. Since all three numbers can be divided by 2, we'll do that. So it'll be 1 plus or minus 5i. Any questions on number 13? Okay. 14. For the graph shown, give the following information. What are the real solutions? Yes, none. Very good. Y-intercept? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Looks like 8.
Yeah.
Vertex? 2. Looks like 2, 4. Axis of symmetry? Splits it right in half, right?
I equals 2.
No, x equals 2.
X equals 2. It's a vertical line. Which axis does a vertical line go through? It goes through the x-axis, so it's x equals. What is the range of the function? Range. How high, how low?
4. It extends from 4 to positive infinity.
4 to infinity. So you could say y is greater than or equal to 4, or an interval notation would be 4 to infinity, including the 4. How about the domain?
All real numbers.
Negative infinity to positive infinity? Or all real numbers? What do we know about the discriminant of this function? What the heck is a discriminant? It's the value inside the square root, right? When we do quadratic formula. So b squared minus 4ac. What do we know about that value? It's what?
It's a number.
It's a number. It's very good. Yes, sir.
It's the number of solutions. It tells you the number of solutions.
It tells you the number of solutions. What do we know about the discriminant of this graph?
It's negative.
It's got to be negative. It's not touching the x-axis, is it? So we're going to have imaginary solutions. And the only way you get imaginary solutions is take the square root of a negative number. So the discriminant has to be negative. Any questions on 14? All right, 15. Let's do Q last. What do we know? What are the real solutions here?
1 and 3.
So we know x equals 1 and 3. Everybody okay with that? Y-intercept?
Negative 3.
Okay, I'll agree with that. 0, negative 3. How about my vertex?
2, 1.
2, 1. Axis of symmetry?
X equals 2.
X equals 2. And the range? How high and how low?
From 1 to negative, from negative infinity to 1.
Negative infinity all the way up to 1, including the 1. Don't forget when you do interval notation, least to greatest. Don't put 1 to negative infinity. What do we know about the discriminant of this function? We've got real solutions.
Well, that's a positive number.
So it's got to be greater than 0, right? If it's 0, we're only going to have one solution, but we've got 2. So the discriminant has to be greater than 0. All right, back to write the equation in standard form. Who's got some ideas? Okay. From question R, we know that x equals 1 and 3. These are the zeros, these are the roots, these are the solutions, right? Can we go from this to the factored form? What would factored form be? X minus 1
Oh, X comes X minus
and x minus 3. Everybody okay with that?
Then you boil it out.
And they want it in standard form, right now it's in factored form. So what do we gotta do?
Boil it out.
We gotta multiply it out, right? Questions on that? Everybody okay with number 15?
It's coming back now.
Coming back. All right, number 16. Y equals 4x squared minus 80x plus 2. They want us to find the axis of symmetry. What do we need to find? We need to find the vertex, right? How do we find the vertex? What's the x part of the vertex? Make it a b over 2a, right? The x part of the vertex is negative b over 2a. Some of y'all have a hard time memorizing that, right? Let me give you a little clue. It's that part right there, okay? All right, so the opposite of b would be 80 over 2 times a, so that's 80 over 8 or 10. So the x part of the vertex is 10. Is that all I need? So the axis of symmetry is x equals 10. Questions on number 16? All right, 17. They want the fifth term of a minus 5b to the 6th power. What was my advice here?
Yeah, I'm doing the pyramid thing.
You're doing the pyramid thing here. Let's go ahead and do the pyramid. We need to keep going? No? Do I need one more line? Raise to the 6th power, we need our second number to be 6. 6, 15, 20, 15, 6, 1. Alright, so these are going to be our coefficients. And what was my advice? I said you should first expand out, make this simpler. X minus y to the 6th power. Okay, so what's our first term gonna be?
A to the third.
X to the sixth
Yeah,
minus 6 x to the fifth, y to the first, right? And then plus, remember we're going to alternate signs, 15 x to the fourth, y squared minus 20 x cubed, y cubed. Notice my x's are decreasing, my y's are increasing. And then plus 15 x squared y to the fourth. Do I need to keep going? What do they want us to find? Fifth term. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the term they want us to find, right? So I'm going to replace my x with an a and my y with a 5b, right? So that's going to give me 15a squared 5b to the fourth power. Why didn't I put in a negative 5b? I already accounted for this negative when I made the signs opposite. Okay? And this is positive, so I know my value is going to be positive. All right. 5 to the fourth power? 625 times 15? 9,000? 9,375 a squared b to the fourth. Questions? Huh?
How did you do it in your head?
Do what in my head?
You showed us a way to like divide and
No triangle, you mean?
yeah.
The coefficient here is a 1. This one you should just be able to come up with, right? Now multiply the coefficient times the exponent. Gives me 6, divided by the number of terms. This is the first term. So 1 times 6 is 6, divided by 1 gives me 6. 6 times 5 is 30, divided by 2, because it's a second term, is 15. 15 times 4 is 60, divided by 3 is 20. 20 times 3 is 60, divided by 4 is 15. Any other questions on cis?
How do you know when to stop the pyramid?
This was raised to the 6th power, so I needed my second number to be a 6. That's when I stopped. That's the line I'm going to use if it's the 6th power. Everybody okay with 17? Okay. Can you stop the tape? Camera?